Donald Trump and the Republican Party has changed the electorate. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look at party identification, Democrats versus Republicans. You go back to 2017, 5 points more of the electorate was Democrats than Republicans. You go to 2021 when Joe Biden was starting out, look at that. 6 points more of the electorate was Democrats than Republicans. But look at what's happened in February of 2025. Look at this. Republicans, there are more Republicans in the electorate than there are Democrats. Republican +2. So Donald Trump and the Republicans have remade the electorate. They've turned some people over from being Democrats or independents to become Republicans. New folks have entered the electorate who are more Republican leaning. And so when you combine that with the fact that Republicans are really, really behind Donald Trump, all of a sudden you get a winning recipe whereby you break the normal rules of politics and give Donald Trump that positive net approval rating when he had pretty much a consistently negative one in term number one. As I said at the beginning, he's copying Frank Sinatra, doing it my way.
Sometimes they do need data. They need, sometimes they need social security numbers to make sure there's not duplicates going on.
Banking information to determine how to cut government? What does that have to do with government?
They have to look at everything. Listen, when your bank account has been breached, you look at everything that's going place. You don't just say keep spending money and say I'll do research later.
Why do you need access to my personal bank account information? That's the problem. Is accessing people's personal information, and we don't know anything about Elon Musk.
We do. He's received security clearance for his contracts he's received. I mean, let's be clear. Elon has passed extensive security background checks because he's gotten these agreements during the Obama administration, during the Biden administration. So it's a lie to say Elon has not been vetted. He has been vetted by the FBI. He has been vetted by this government, or he would have never received those contracts. So I get that's a talking point that you want to confuse the American people on that. But the reality is he does have all these clearances, so he does have these access. The question becomes why is the deep state sort of fighting this resistance of what President Trump was elected to do? Elon is a tool and a weapon to what President Trump wants to do, and he wants to shrink the size of government. And he's told people that he's going to shrink it. He got elected on this purpose. And you need data to make those decisions.
But I don't think you need people's personal data. That's the line we have to draw at some point.
Listen,
is that this is a man who's going in not just from Treasury.
Other federal employees that access have. So he's not treated specially.
But the intent is not to. Those federal employees have access not with the intent of cutting government waste.
So your criticism
There's a lot
is
of ways.
He should not have that data because he's going to because he wants to cut government.
No, because he has access to it and we don't know what he's doing with the information. Trump can't even tell us what he's doing with it.
Every employee at that level has the same access that Elon has. It's not special access.
Let me get Elliot back into this.
Know that the polling is a little bit mixed. There are people
Really?
Yes.
So far, so good.
Well,
People are loving this. The first
they're
time
not.
ever.
There are
the first time ever you're asking government to actually say, what do you do with my money?
60.
A month in, I don't think anyone's really regretting voting for Donald Trump, right? As you saw from the intro, Donald Trump has remade the electorate in his image. As you saw also, the pushback from the Democrats, it's laying flat. Like, the talking point is not really confusing the American people like they think it is. The approval ratings for Congress is still low, right, for both sides, but Democrats are feeling worse about it. They're a -46, while Republicans are only a -12. And is anyone surprised? Is anyone surprised? The Democrats, y'all are doing so much worse. And I think the reason why is that Democrats got exposed for the fake virtue signaling that they pretend that they have. There's a lot to choose from, but arguably the most important breakthrough in Trump 2.0, especially for the long-term strength of the MAGA movement, is the total collapse of the emotional blackmail as a weapon. The media, Democrats, and elites once wielded to great effects, but not anymore. And I think this is something that Democrats have not woken up to yet. And this is why they keep doing I forgot her name, the AOCs of the world, the Jasmine Crockett's, right? These DEI people, they keep trying to fall back into the emotional blackmail, and it's not working. It's not working. Democrats are lost as a party because their go-to moves are gone. It's getting so bad for the Democrats that Democrat donors are now withholding funding from the party. Don't believe me? Let's take a look.
Last hour, Democrat donors withholding funds apparently frustrated over faulty leadership and messaging from the top. They're keeping their wallets of support close to their chest. Mark Meredith has more from D.C. on this. And Mark, what you learning? Hello.
Bill, good morning to you. Well, Democrats have been doing a lot of soul searching since President Trump's victory. And while the party has a new chairman, it appears donors are not opening their wallets, at least not yet. The New York Times writes some of the country's biggest liberal donors have paused giving, frustrated with what they see as Democrats' lack of vision. Some Democrats blame former President Biden for their situation after his late exit from the 2024 race. Others question if Kamala Harris was the right candidate for the job after Biden dropped out. Democratic lawmakers, interest groups, activists, they are all still very vocal. They're holding protests almost every day here in D.C., trying to counter the administration. But Democratic donors say the party has to appeal to people on issues like the economy.
There's a desire for a new voice of pragmatism, centrism, and most of all, connection to ordinary people and how they lead their lives.
The newly chosen chairman of the Democratic Party is on the road this week. He's even visiting so-called red states. Ken Martin will visit 5 states, Pennsylvania, Texas, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Missouri. The DNC says the tour is all about trying to show that the party can invest time, money, resources in places conservatives usually dominate. But we are also seeing, Bill, some layoffs among Democratic interest groups given the hard times they're facing.
I'm telling you, man. Democrats, that's why I made that video. That's why I made the video that Republicans can dominate politics for the next 10 years. Not even Democrats believe in Democrats right now. It's crazy. It's baffling. 1 month into Trump's administration, as a black man, I haven't been enslaved yet. What's taking so long? If Project 2025 had been implemented, I haven't noticed. Why was I supposed to be scared of Project 2025 again? I haven't lost any civil liberties. I haven't been stopped or frisked. What happened to all this ish everybody was fear-mongering about? This is the kind of stuff that gets Democrats in trouble, right? They make these outlandish claims, right? They take the goodwill of their supporters to believe them when they say this stuff. Then when said outcome happens and it doesn't happen the way they think it happened, you start training people to start ignoring Democrats. And I think this is what's happening. Democrats are trying to message right now all around the country that they're trying to return to pragmatic solutions. They're trying to focus on things that matter to the American people, but they don't want to talk about illegal deportation of illegals. They don't want to talk about how Trump is sending military to the southern border, which has majority support, by the way. They don't want to talk about how cutting the federal government is actually popular. They don't want to. They want to ignore all the other stuff. They're going to say we're just going to focus on the economy. Right now, like I said in the beginning of my other videos of me giving my analysis about the state of politics. Right now, Trump controls the Democratic Party. I'm telling you, Trump is the leader of the Democratic Party. Democrats are. I already hear the Democrats screeching, but he is. He's the leader of the Democratic Party. Anything he's saying, y'all take the opposite. He controls y'all. He has y'all wrapped around his finger. And it's so baffling to see. You don't want to talk about the popular issues. You don't want to be involved with Doge because he's involved in Doge. Y'all want to defend Social Security. And Social Security has people that's 110 years older than the country.
And the record topper, there is one person on Social Security who's 360 years old, which is approximately 110 years older than our country.
This is what y'all defending. This is what Democrats are defending. And you wonder why their approval rating is so low, right? The Democrats support judges getting in the way of Trump's administration.
How are is there any kind of legal potential?
Sorry guys, even though Trump's team is legally allowed to access Social Security data
here?
Yes. I mean, to name a few, you have the Federal Privacy Act, you have the Internal Revenue Code. Those all have strict rules about disclosure. But it's really interesting. A decision came out yesterday involving the Department of Education and a challenge to access of that information. And this is a decision that I think folks should look at because it's one district court judge concluding that there's a difference when it comes to determining irreparable harm. There's a difference between disclosing information to the public and internal agency disclosure within the agency of that information, even if there is a risk that that information could be disclosed publicly. Those statutes I just mentioned have remedies for that, and these plaintiffs, at least in the Department of Education case involving this kind of access, the court found that disclosure internally may not be the kind of irreparable harm that would warrant a restraining order. Now, it's not.
Duh. So Social Security gives data to Doge, which is part of Trump's executive branch. He's not evaluating irreparable harm. Now, what he does with that data after, that's his business. And now they're mad. And this is the point. This is the road that Democrats are just like bumping their heads over and over and over again. As Dems attempts to block Doge from federal data keeps failing. It keeps failing. And they don't understand why. Oh, no one voted for Elon Musk. No one voted for these bureaucrats. No one voted for these judges in some districts. No one voted for them. But here they are trying to make decisions on what Trump can't or can't do. Trump got way more votes than any of them combined, yet they're sitting here trying to share power with him. Make it make sense. So let's get into the meat of the video. Just getting started, Trump dishes out Doge, life advice, and tax cuts. The president spoke at the FII Priority Summit in Miami on Wednesday. On Wednesday, Donald Trump touted his administration was just getting started after after Doge, overseen by Elon Musk, saved what he said were tens of billions of dollars. Trump spoke about Doge's progress so far and other topics during an event, an evening appearance at the FII Priority Summit, a Saudi Arabia-backed event that draws a mix of global tech executives and financiers taking place in Miami. In less than a month, the Department of Efficiency has already saved over 55, that's just a short period of time, $55 billion, and we're just getting started. Trump said his effort to cut wasteful spending. Trump said that the endeavor will decrease waste, lower inflation, as well as interest rates and payments, and boost the stock market. We will rapidly grow our economy by dramatically shrinking the government, he added. And I also believe this is how you'll be able to cut inflation down, because inflation was created by federal government spending. And Democrats, because they love the government, they love to obfuscate the negative outcomes of spending and push it on corporations, all those greedy corporations for increasing inflation. But who controls the money supply? Last time I checked, it wasn't corporations, it was the government. And everyone don't understand the rules of supply and demand. The more supply there is, there's less demand for it. That goes with dollar circulation too. And if you're printing all these dollars, down the line, we all suffer inflation, which many dub it as the invisible tax.
Department of Government Efficiency has already saved over this is just a short period of time, $55 billion. And we're just getting started. That's nothing compared to the numbers that you're talking about, right? We're ending trillions of dollars in waste, and it'll mean much lower inflation, lower interest rates, lower payments on mortgages, credit cards, car loans.
And at this point, I don't care what Democrats have to say. Oh, that won't lower inflation. No, we'll see. We'll see. Biden was allowed to claim that he was going to have a K-shaped recovery. He didn't get that. Make it make sense. Trump says that however much money that Doge saves, 20% of it will go to the American citizen.
There's even under consideration a new concept where we give 20% of the Doge savings to American citizens and 20% goes to paying down debt, because the numbers are incredible, Elon. So many billions of dollars, billions, hundreds of billions, and we're thinking about giving 20% back to the American citizens and 20% down to pay back debt and pay down debt.
But look at that. Like, this is why I made that video. Democrats and progressives and leftists, they're on the wrong side of the Doge debate. Wrong side of it. Trump's trying to help American families here. We're trying to give you back more of your money that the government wasted. And what Democrats are chanting, they're out here chanting, they need more money, they need more funding. What? Democrats, are y'all crazy? Democrats, do you not live in the same world? Who told you that was a good idea to do that stuff? Right? Y'all getting caught starting green groups in 2016 that has $100 in the bank account before Biden left office. Her group got $2 billion government grants. No experience, no track record. People need to go to jail, Pam Bondi. People are pointing this out about Democrats, and this is what I'm talking about. People are starting to realize, the reason why Democrats defend the government so hard is because that's a way that they launder money into their own pockets. They line their own pockets. It's just like BLM. Democrats are just like BLM. They line their own pockets using the taxpayers' money. And when they get caught, they screaming on the streets talking about we need more funding, not less. Sorry, I'm trying to find a clip, but this is preposterous. This is ridiculous. Democrats want to talk about the rich, the rich, the rich. Democrats' only weapon is to cause chaos. They're paralyzed with dysfunction. It gives them all sense of purpose with hopes of slowing down the Trump administration. They don't care about working together. They don't care about functioning government. They need chaos to pay. Oh my gosh, Democrats have completely lost their mind. Their new chant are cringier than ever. This is the message this is how Democrats are going out, bro. Look, I'm not making up anything. Y'all can call me biased all y'all want on the comment section, right? Democrats mad that a black man don't want to agree with a Democrat. But this ain't appealing to nobody.
More funding, not less. End research funding theft. More funding, not less.
Why you think Democrats want more funding, guys? I just showed you why. Stacey Abrams, I forgot her name. Yeah, Stacey Abrams started a green group, only had $100 in the bank account. Biden gets in office, next thing you know, it gets $2 billion in federal grant money. This is why they want more funding. It's to line their own pockets. Come on. And this is not my assumptions. This is not what I'm theorizing. That's evidence. That's what we know. We know about the Democrats. You got federal. I'll show the proof again if you guys think I'm lying, if my detractors think I'm lying. You got judges that halted Trump's spending freeze that received millions in government funding for their own personal NGOs. And you think if we're giving Democrats the benefit of that, you think they're doing this out of some sense of obligation to the American people? No. This is all to protect their own political interest. And Democratic Party has been exposed thoroughly.
Hey, RFK, hands off the FDA. Hey, RFK, we remember JFK. Fascism is a virus too, and the people who are out here fighting in sub-freezing temperatures.
And that's the Democratic Party. Party of bureaucracy, party of America last, party of give me funding at your expense, right? Fund illegals at your expense so Democrats can benefit off of. I'm telling you, Democrats have always been the party of slavery. It's just now it seems like the new slave is the American taxpayer. We work, they eat, they get to administrate, they get to send off our money to foreigners to benefit off of our tax dollars. That's the Democratic Party. They take a percentage of your income, they take it and they use it for God knows what, to enrich themselves, their buddies, send it to their foreign friends out of the country. And what Donald Trump's doing with Doge, he's trying to cut that funding from them and return it back to you. Say, here's your refund. Sorry, we misused your services. Sorry, we misused your funds. Make it make sense. When a corporation F up, we expect them to make it right by us by giving us a refund for giving us a faulty service or faulty problem. That's what the government has done. For decades, the government has given us a faulty service. The Department of Education was supposed to make our education system better, more uniform, more efficient, right? In the 1970s. Before the Department of Education came in, we had the #1 education system in the world. After, we started on the decline. And now in 2025, we have the worst education, but we spend the most money on education. Over $800 billion on the Department of Education. And we got the worst education in the world. And we spend more money than any other country in the world. We have the worst education. Money isn't the issue. Money isn't the solution. Processes are. The way we go about it. What we're using that money on. Teaching DEI, anti-racism. We're teaching left-wing crap. We're teaching leftist religion. Right? If this money was being used to treat Christianity, Islam, I bet you liberals will have a problem with that. But for some reason, liberals don't have a problem with schools teaching their values to our children. And Trump and Doge are coming along and say, hey, we want to give you a refund. And Democrats think that's a bad thing. Oh, I see why your party is less favorable than the Republicans. But, I digress. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How you feel a month in after Trump's administration. Do you regret it if you're a Trump supporter? If you're a Democrat, do you still think that Trump supporters are going to regret Donald Trump being in office when he has all this stuff planned out? I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching the end of the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.